Well, discrimination was a very big problem in Northern Ireland, and I think there are any number of people I could think of that could be defined as human rights defenders working around discrimination. Trade unionists who was extremely active. Agnes McCormack, first woman leader of the Irish Congress of Trade Unions, introduced what called the McBride principles and made a big impact on issues around investment in Northern Ireland. Another person who worked closely with her and in a sense provided an academic input and was very influential in changing the debate in Northern Ireland from simply a non-discrimination or anti-discrimination to a positive equality campaign. Was Professor Chris McCurran from Northern Ireland, but now teaching in Oxford, quite a unique capacity to bring cerebral law ideas and principles into very practical and detailed terminology and then to action on the ground. And then another person in a completely different sphere that I was thinking about is Thomas Hammerberger, who as the Council of Europe Human Rights Commissioner has done, I think, extremely important work about highlighting the situation of Roma across Europe. And I think this is probably a very unaddressed issue across the continent, across the region. Well, Thomas Hamburger is probably easier because he's about to bring out a report and there are a whole series of recommendations in that about all forms of discrimination, and he really does address a very wide range of them because he's looking right across his mandate, but particularly with Roma, which I found one of the more interesting elements, or one that perhaps I was less aware of. He makes specific recommendations, and that clearly have to be taken on by governments. In the Northern Ireland context, our problem is that we have introduced some of the most, I would argue, sort of progressive equality legislation, but it is somehow being turned by public services into a bit of a tick box exercise, and that denotes a lack of a really embedded culture of respect for human rights and equality in our public service. And in fact, in retrospect, I think that was one of our gaps in our assessment of human rights needs in terms of the peace building process. I don't think any of us have given enough attention to the role that public services play and how they need to both be empowered but also be obliged to embrace human rights concepts. So it's not, with policing it's self-evident that you've got to debate and have them embrace human rights. How you do it is of course a matter of negotiation and so on, but I mean no one would challenge that that's something that that they would be a priority target for exchanges and dialogue about promoting human rights. But I think we certainly in our Northern Ireland context we didn't do enough with the future public service, and that's a learning for us. That's what I'd say.